No one should have to choose between a job and a paycheck or taking care of themselves and their loved ones or parent or spouse or child.
Now, in this clip, Joe Biden talks about how the government is going to provide free childcare. And for those who are considered low income or middle income, he says that you'll pay no more than 7% of your income in terms of childcare, right? So let's say you earn 50,000, you're not going to pay more than 3,500 for the entire year to basically receive childcare, so that you can go to work. And that's basically the government's goal. But the question is, who is going to pay for that, right? So you choose to have a child, right? And then you can't afford to have that child looked after, but you also can't afford to not go to work. And so the government says, well, don't worry about it. We'll pay for it. And really what that means is that it comes off of the backs of other taxpayers like myself. Right, so you choose to have a kid, you can't afford that child. And this goes along with many of the minorities, unfortunately, who have children, low income individuals, and they don't prepare for a child. And unfortunately, the government says, well, don't worry, we're going to come and save you.
We need American Families Plan will provide access to quality, affordable child care. We guarantee When I'm proposing the legislation, we guarantee that low and middle income families will pay no more than 7% of their income for high quality care for children up to the age of 5. The most hard-pressed working families won't have to spend a dime. Third, the American Families Plan will finally provide up to 12 weeks of paid leave and medical leave, family medical leave.
Now, it's important to understand who is going to pay for all this, right? So more than likely what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to make the businesses responsible. At the very least, we're talking about 12 weeks of pay, right? 12 weeks of pay, they call it family leave, right? And so let's just say you earn 800 a week, right? So let's just say conservatively you earn 800 a week. Now the business becomes responsible for giving you a free $9,600 for 3 weeks, right? 3 months. They give you 12 weeks times 800, and the business is responsible for doing this. And of course, this is for businesses that have over 50 employees. And so what will more than likely happen is that as a business owner, I'm just going to be like, well, you know what? I'm not going to hire more than 49 people. 49 people is going to be my cutoff. And this will stifle businesses from wanting to grow, right? Because why would I want to be responsible if you decide that you need time off? And so I become responsible for paying you to take free time off, which basically means that Americans, in terms of, now he just talked about, moving forward and pushing the country forward and getting more educated. Now I want you to think about this, right? So if I own a business, right? I provide private home care, right? And so the customer, the patient, they need an aid. And basically what the president is saying is that I am responsible for providing an aid and paying for that aid for 3 months out of the year because you want to stay home and take care of your relative. That person who is paying for service also wants their relative to be taken care of. And so in essence, I am paying for 3 months out of the 12 months of the year for you to stay home. And business owners are not going to go for this. What will happen is like I just said before, is that business owners will just be like, you know what, whatever the cutoff is, if the government says if you have more than 100, if you have more than 50, if you have more than 25, and all this will do is it will stifle job growth, because business owners are going to be like, you know what, I don't want to provide. All this does is it costs me, the business owner, money. It makes absolutely no sense. But this is what the government does. Is I had my first boss was an Italian guy, and so every so often, every Friday, he would pay for everybody to have lunch. But he would pick certain places because there was quite a bit, about 15 or 20 of us that he would provide lunch for, and he would look for the different restaurants that basically had sales on a particular day, and he would order from these places. I remember one day they went to go pick up, and of course, instead of getting what he had told them to get, they decided to buy something else and spend more of his money. And so principally, he said, if you want to be generous with your own money, but don't be generous with my money. And so this is what the government is in essence doing, is they're being generous with the poor, right? And they're telling them, well, the business owner, is going to provide you with free money so that you can stay home and take care of your loved one or be on vacation, etc. And so it's real easy for the government to be generous with other people's money. And this is just basically to curry favor with individuals so that they can, in essence, buy off their vote. Because who wouldn't want a free 3 months off? If you're telling me that I only have to work, 9 months out of the year, and 3 months of the year I get off for free while still getting paid, who's not going to go for that, right? But this is not sustainable in terms of growing businesses. And so all this will lead to are fewer jobs within the country and more people having to be put on unemployment or some form of UBI. Any business owner should be able to see this, but it all sounds great. Everybody stands up and applauds, and it sounds amazing when you're being generous with other people's money, because the government doesn't have money. The government just extracts money from you, the taxpayer, from me, the business owner, from the investor, etc. They just extract that money and then they redistribute it. They say, the way that you manage your money isn't good enough. Give your money to us, and we'll redistribute it to whom we see fit.